Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
You may be a redneck if you offer to give someone the shirt off your back and they don't want it. And you also may be a redneck if your wife can climb a tree faster than your cat. Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith, and God bless America. There you go. Good morning, good morning. Patriot, call in with our Pledge of Allegiance. And a good morning to you and yours. I'm Zeb Bell, Zeb at the Ranch, and with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you. If you're getting ready for a road trip, you stop in and see them today. Also, some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Right now, let's go to the phone line and have a patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Good morning. It would be a privilege to say the pledge.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well done, and thank you for your call. Call back more often. I appreciate your effort. Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. Hey, it's time for the weather, and the weather brought to you by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn, right there, smack dab on the Burley-Paul Highway. You can't miss it. Roger and the crew, they get there early in the morning at 7 a.m., and they've got the best tools and equipment you need to finish any construction project. Everything from jackhammers to rototillers, you name it, they've got it. Stop in or give them a call, 678-3122. K&R Rental on the Burley-Paul Highway. Right now, here's the weather.
Here's a look at your weather forecast for this Thursday. It's going to be another sunny and hot one. Looking at a high of 95. Winds a little bit out of the west, right around 10 miles an hour. Winds could pick up and gust as high as 21 miles an hour by this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low of 60. Tomorrow, sunny and 95 for tomorrow night, mostly clear with a low of 57. Saturday, another beautiful day, sunny skies, high of 92. Sunday, sunny and 91. That's your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch.
Ooh, going to stay right there in those 90s. Good morning, and thanks to Roger and the crew at K&R Rental. 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Yep, like I said, on the Burley-Paul Highway. Yes, sir, Bobby, the number to call, 678-3122, K&R Rental. Merv May, let's sell some cattle. Come on in here.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there, here to get all our 31 woman and 31 going out.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best auctioneer, Merv May, at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, and that is the sale that works for you. Merv May, Cade, Rogge, Lance Udy, and the number to call for cattle consignments or sale information, 678-9411. Today, we know that Ted Tracy up at Elmo's bringing in 40 head of ripping good 750-pound yearlings, and Kim and Chet Brackett out at Three Creek, out where the Cowboys live, a semi-load of cows. Aramo Ranch at Malda bringing in a semi-load of cows, and we've got butcher cows coming in from P-Bar S Dairy, Acme Dairy, TLK Dairy, and Funk Dairy. Sale time at 10:30 this morning at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, and don't you miss it. The sale that works for you. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there, here to get all our 31 woman and 31 going out, 31 132, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 130, 550, 135 and a half, $7.35. Zeb Bell, get the bottom.
No, I tell you what, don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. And we'll take that call in just a minute. Caller, stand by, please. I'll be right with you. And I want to remind you, too, that all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs right there at Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. And I really mean all, because they've been in business for almost 6 decades, and they've got everything you need, plus the experienced professional people to serve you. Ramsey Heating and Electric, 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, open 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday, and the number to call is 678-0459. Caller, it's a good morning to you.
Good morning to you, and I am just peachy this morning.
Well, wonderful.
I don't know why, but I am.
All right, well, what do you need, my friend?
I don't know why I am.
Okay.
Because today is lunch bunch.
There you go.
And that brings up the subject of the people don't understand how much time and preparation it takes to put on this event. You know, Deanne has to go around, gather up all the sponsors' gifts and everything that is given away at no cost to your patrons. And she does so much to help you on that, and I think we need to give her kudos.
Oh, I always will stand up for that. I think that Deanne absolutely has been the mainstay of this program. It's not a one-horse operation. I mean, we got Wheels over there running the board. We've got our sales. We've got Deanne with bookkeeping. We've got me behind the mic. And there's a lot of people I want to thank, including all the listeners and the sponsors.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful program, and you know, there's really nothing in it for you financially, except that you have to close your program early to get there on time. And, you know, it's a sacrifice on your part to get there just to be with us.
Well, the speeding tickets are a sacrifice.
We're not participating in that.
Listen,
Nancy and I are not.
I'll tell you what, we do sometimes scurry down Highway 30, but I appreciate everything you said. That was a nice act of kindness this morning. Thank you, Keith. You and Nancy will see you at 11:30.
But if you want to, if you get stopped by the police, you might mention my name,
Okay.
And then you might say, evidently, you don't know who I am.
Yeah, well, they'll probably put me in handcuffs.
Yeah, and that policeman will respond. He said, no, I don't. Who are you?
Yeah, there you go. Hey, listen, man, I do appreciate your kind thoughts, and thank you for breaking the ice this morning. We appreciate it. God bless you.
You bet.
All right. Thank you. That was nice. Thank you very, very much. Yep, we're going to be at Denny's Restaurant at 11:30 today for our lunch bunch. And, of course, Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner. That's not brag. That's a fact. 611 North Overland and Burley with Thomas and the whole crew. Boy, they are such nice people. And Thomas always makes it kind of a pleasant deal to go around, shake hands, and say hello to everybody. And all the people that work there really, really caring and concerned about your welfare and how much you enjoy their meals. Absolutely, we'll be at Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner, 11:30 for Zeb's Lunch Bunch. And our thanks also go out to Walmart, Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, Pomerell Place, and Denny's for all the support to Zeb's Lunch Bunch at America's Diner, Denny's Restaurant. Delicious. Also, while we have just a moment here real quick, I want to say a big shout out and thank you to Dino Septic Service. You know, they work for me, and I'm very, very partial to the job that they do. I mean, they pulled in the yard, and they just took over everything and ran it so professionally, serving us with fast, fair-friendly service, and they'll do the same for you. Dino Septic Service, they're doing a job that you and I don't want to do. Septic tanks pumped and liquid waste removal, sewer and sink drain lines cleaned, water and sewer lines installed, backhoe service. They do it all. They do it all. Dino Septic Service over in Rupert. Number to call 436-6526 or in Burley 678-1638. All right, let's open up the phone lines and get some calls started here at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Did you see the clips on the news of Secretary of State Mike Pompeo? He had absolutely the right attitude in front of that Senate hearing yesterday. He sat there, up straight, looked them in the eye, and told them the truth, but he also protected the privacy of the president. And he put Bob Menendez, Democratic Bob Menendez, and others on the spot, looked them in the eye and said, I know the game that you're playing, Senator. Believe me, I understand and know the games that you're playing. And the Democrats, including and especially Menendez, they didn't like that. Mike Pompeo, of all the people that I've heard that has gone before a Senate hearing, really, he took charge of the hearing. And he let them know that he was not going to be pushed into a corner. He let them know that he was not going to be cowed. He let them know that they were not going to treat him as a subservient. Honestly, for those of you that saw the excerpts of that, give me a call, because Mike Pompeo showed me that he is in charge. I had never heard him speak that much or have that many opportunities on camera. And I often wondered, and Deanna and I talked about it many times during the news, what his personality really was in a negotiating situation, like with Kim Jong-un and others. Now I'm impressed. I know that this man takes charge. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. They also take charge. That's the thing I like. I went in there when I started going in for my the help on my legs. Oh, my goodness. They ask all kinds of questions. They get everything all set up. They get just the right exercises. And you're working with the best physical therapists around. Let me tell you, headed up by Nick Greenwell and the rest of the staff, and also the use of that hydrotherapy pool. I absolutely think that is phenomenal. Call today for an appointment so they can help you get back to being you. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, and the number's 678-1191. You give them a call today. Let's see what else is going on. Did you know, and this is really bothersome to me, that over 2,000, I think the number is pretty close to almost 2,400 threats have been made against our congressmen and our senators in the last year. 2,400 threats of violence, and some are even death threats. Congresswoman Diane Black of Tennessee had to bolster her security because of death threats. They were coming in on emails, they were coming in on voicemails, and finally security has caught the man. They've arrested the man, and now he's up for prosecution. But Diane Black is just one of many people that have stood up for President Trump. As a matter of fact, Diane Black was the congresswoman from Tennessee that introduced the bill for the border wall security. And the sleazy left started making death threats to her. She was on television this morning, and you could see that she was a little bit disconcerted about the activity of all the death threats made against her, etc., even though they've caught this person. And there have been others talking about the violent threats made against them. And, of course, we remember the shooting on the baseball diamond a year ago of Steve Scalise and others. This has got to stop. We are a nation divided right now. And we're a nation divided by a 4-letter word that's the worst divider of anywhere in the world: hate. This has got to stop. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Come on, give me a call this morning. I'd love to visit with you. And while I have just a little brief moment here, I'd like to remind you about my old buddy Anthony right there on 1027 Overland in Burley and Save on Shells. Now, I've bought quite a few different outfits in my time, and I'll tell you, I've never been treated as great as they treat you right there at Save on Shells. I mean, Anthony absolutely goes that extra mile in service, and I urge you to stop in. They can custom fit any truck on the road with Save on Shells. Urge you to stop in and see him or give him a call at 312-1525. They've got those excellent camper shells made by ARE. Anthony, and believe me, he'll take care of you at 1027 Overland in Burley, and that's Save on Shells, 312-1525. I really was impressed with the service. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning to you, Zeb.
Well, if it isn't the good news man, he's going to talk to us about Yummy.
Well, that's right. If you can't make it to the lunch bunch, why, second choice might be the senior center.
Well, good for you. What do you got cooking over there today, Joe?
Well, we're going to have beef stroganoff and all the trimmings and some yummy chocolate cake.
Yummy, but this is more definitive. Yummy chocolate cake. Boy, I mean, you're hitting the hammer with a nail.
Well, we welcome everybody that can't make it to the lunch bunch by second choice. For the senior center on South Overland.
Joe, you do a great job calling in, and you're up and about this morning and telling everybody about great eating, and I appreciate it, my dear friend. You take care, and have a wonderful weekend.
You do the same. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Joe Taylor, our dear, dear friend, talking about the senior junction and the great lunches, etc. Yeah, I bet you get over there and support them. They need support, too, like Doug Martineau says. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see what else have we got here in the news. Jerry Jones is back in the news with the Dallas Cowboys, and I think he's made it very, very clear, and I respect this. They did an interview with him about 2 days ago at the training camp. And Jerry Jones was out there on the training camp field with a baseball cap on, Dallas Cowboys, and sunglasses. And they asked him about his stance about the national anthem and how his players will be expected to act. Jerry Jones did not mince any words. He very seldom ever does. And he said that his players will stand for the national anthem. There will be no excuses. Now, I'm assuming that if somebody tries to pull a fast one on Jerry, that perhaps they may have the locker room door hit them in the posterior on the way out. I just really hope, and I mean this with all sincerity, that the NFL owners, the people that are putting up the money to pay these exorbitant paychecks to these great, big, incredible hulks to play a child's game of football, I hope they remain tough. And no matter what the NFL Players Union tries to do or tries to say through their mousy little lawyers, that the NFL will restore integrity and restore respect for our flag and our nation, and all these players will stand for our national anthem. If not, let them go. Let them go. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Come on, your turn. Give me a call. Well, I'm waiting for you to give us a jingle on the landline. Don't forget the 70th annual Minidoka County Fair coming up starting next Monday. Oh my! Building dreams at the Minidoka County Fair. Monday, they're going to have the lawnmower races at 6 p.m. Don't miss this. Vroom, vroom, start your engines. Look out. And Tuesday, they got the Tiny Todd Gymkhana. They've got the free PMT concert with Charlie Jenkins. And then the Wednesday, they've got the Antique Engine Show, Lions Barbecue, and Fairboard Social. Oh, that's going to be good. And on Wednesday and Thursday, the Junior Rodeo. And Friday and Saturday, the Wild West Open Rodeo. All of this and more at your Minidoka County Fair. Building dreams at the Minidoka County Fair. Thank you, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
My, you sound peachy this morning.
Well, thank you. I feel peachy. It's a beautiful day. It's not too hot yet. And I've got my air conditioner going.
Atta girl. Well, what can I do for you this morning?
You know, like I said yesterday, about all these liberals and everything going totally out of line. Goes the same thing for any of your sports players. You never see a rodeo person not take their hats off, cross their hearts, and stand at attention when the flags go past and the national anthem is played.
That's right.
Why do we have to pay these legend in their own mind sports people for disrespecting our country? If they don't want to stand for the flag, move someplace where you don't have to worry about standing for the flag and see how long you last over there.
Yeah, and by the way, let's also insert those that are getting maybe $17 to $20 million a year contracts. Where else are they going to go play for that kind of money and give back nothing to society?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That's what I said. They're all legends in their own minds.
Yeah.
And who pays for that? We do.
Yeah.
So we need, as a people, we need to stand up and say, you know what, if you don't want to stand and acknowledge the men and women who have fought and died for that flag and the national anthem, then we'll buy you a one-way ticket out of here.
Yeah, and let me just throw something into the conversation here this morning, Donna, that originally when Colin Kaepernick started this cancerous growth of this disrespect of our flag, he did it because he was basically going with animosity against our police forces here in the United States. And he was wearing the socks that depicted pigs and policemen as the same thing. I absolutely have nothing good to say about Colin Kaepernick, nor I never will. But the disrespect, not only for our flag and the national anthem, but for our service people, whether it's our policemen, whether it's our first responders, whether it's our firemen, whether it's our military, all of those are always there to help protect and serve. And when these lazy louts of the NFL stand and then all of a sudden when the anthem starts, they take a knee or sit down, I am in great favor of asking them for their uniform immediately and kicking their butt out of the stadium.
Oh, I'm totally right there with you. I don't call him by I can't pronounce his name. I call him Pectate. He's not the one that started it. As far as the NFL, yes, he did. But, our first responders are just as big a hero to me as the service people.
Absolutely.
Every one of them put a uniform on every day.
That's right.
And they put their lives on the line to protect us.
That's right.
Including those snot-nosed nannies who think they're better than everybody else.
Well, and they're not. I'm 70 years old, and I've been around the horn a couple of times and been to a couple of county fairs and a hog calling contest in my life, and I am sick and tired of having people denigrate and disrespect our flag and our country. What you said earlier really struck a chord with me, because I'll tell you what, whether it's the National Finals Rodeo or whether it's a one-performance rodeo in Montana, I've never seen cowboys disrespect our country or disrespect our flag. And I'll tell you what, I'm also very proud of Major League Baseball. baseball, because they also have been very supportive of standing up for the rights and respect in this country. When it comes to the NFL, they better grow up and put their big boy pants on and act decently.
Yep. And if they don't want to, you know what? Let's buy them a one-way ticket.
You got it.
Shares on it.
I'll help.
Get them out of here. We don't need them.
Thanks, Donna. I really appreciate your call. Thank you.
You bet you, dear. Have a good day.
God bless. Thank you. Caller number 2, I'm going to be right with you. Don't you dare go away. Don't pass go. Do not leave. I'll be right there. I want to remind everybody about Berry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts. And they've got 3 locations serving you. 159 West Highway 30 in Burley with our old buddy Juan, and 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls with Eli, and the Nampa location. They've got all the equipment rentals. They've got all the retail equipment sales. They've got the big, tough dudes, the Doosan equipment. You don't want to miss this. They can handle the job. They've got all the Bobcat excavators, everything. All you got to do is get a hold of them. Berry Equipment and Rental, 159 West Highway 30 in Burley with Juan, 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin, and Nampa. Berry Equipment and Rental. Caller, thank you for your patience. Go ahead.
Zep, do you remember when the 2 teams went over to London and played?
Yep.
They stood at attention for the English national anthem. When the American national anthem was played, they disrespected it and carried on like a bunch of little 2-year-old babies that needed their mommies.
Bob, I have no time with people that disrespect this flag. I've lost too many friends and even some family members that have given the ultimate for this great country. And when I look at these pampered prima donnas that play pro football, they're complaining about this and complaining about that. They've got many, many options during the course of any week where they could take some of their millions and they could put back into the community to so-called activist funding that they could try to change their respective community and or town. They're not doing that. All they're doing is being a griper, a complainer, and really a pain in the posterior.
Well, the owners and Roger Goodell need to take control of their little crybabies and either tell them to ship up or shape out.
I couldn't agree more. And as far as the NFL Players Union is concerned, I would really like to have about 5 minutes in a room with some of their so-called lawyers that have the IQ of a box of rocks. And I'm proud. I am not a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I'm proud of Jerry Jones for taking this stand and saying his players will stand for the national anthem.
Well, I'm in the same boat. I don't like him. I don't like the Dallas Cowboys, but anyway, whatever happens, happens, and I hope that they get their butts all paddled.
There you go, Bob. Appreciate your call, as always. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I have never in my life understood how, I don't care if it's a defensive end or if it's a defensive cornerback or a quarterback or a running back or a wide receiver, you can sign a contract for all this money and you can show such complete disdain and respect for not only the team you signed for, but the fans and the country that is providing this great opportunity for you to make that kind of money playing a game. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning again. You know, this case of Jerry Jones, I guess he's a pretty good guy and pretty fair, but he's right up there as far as being rich.
Well, there's no question about that. There's no question.
Yeah, but every company, major company, even small companies, for their protection, they have a policy manual that they give you when you go to work there, and you sign a deal saying that you've read it and you agree to those terms.
Yep.
And if they don't, that's reason for dismissal, and it's not. It is written in stone. It is very, very binding and everything else. You have a chance to defend yourself, but it's pretty explicit as to what you should be able to do.
You know, and this is the part, Keith, and I'm glad you brought this up. Jerry Jones or any owner, I don't care what team it is, the Eagles, the Packers, the Cowboys, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make any difference what sport. When you sign a contract for X amount of dollars, there has to be some reciprocity there that you're going to adhere to the rules and regulations, the dress codes, and everything else of that team. But these players are basically signing the contract saying, give me the money, pay me the money, and then they're going against the contract, if you will, and they're asking and doing things that are absolutely arbitrary to what the owners want for that team and the personality of that team. And I think a lot of these players need to have the doorknob hit them in the butt on the way out.
Well, I think the San Francisco 49ers, I'm not a football fan, but I always favored them because of, what's his name, quarterback that's been there years and years
Well,
ago.
Joe Montana and then Steve Young and all the others.
Yes, all those good people. But
Kaepernick. Yeah.
Theopectate's what I call him.
Okay.
When he signed up there, he had a chance to have a wonderful career.
He did.
And look what he has done to
Yeah.
the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, look what he's done to himself.
Disgraceful.
Yeah, look what he's done to himself. He has absolutely disgraced himself and put him in the hands of left-wingers that are bent on using that kid because he's not the most intelligent person in the world, evidently, by what I've heard and read about him. And they're using him as a figurehead for more of the left stupid policies. Keith, appreciate your call. God bless you, man. Thanks.
You bet.
All right, sir. I just have, and I will not bend on this. I know that we have some former NFL people and football players and everything in this area, and if you don't like what I said, I really don't care. Let's caller. I'll be right there, I promise. Don't forget the Bennett boys. Joe was here last night with his lovely wife. We visited for quite some time, and they've got a sale coming up this Saturday, July 28th, starting at 11 o'clock over in Buell, Idaho. 1285 East, 4400 North. Look for the signs. I can give you the directions, but just look for the signs. The Sheen Living Estate Auction, and they've got tractors and farm equipment, and they've got ATVs and trailers and shop equipment and all kinds of tools, lawn and garden items, everything. Going to be a good sale, managed by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. Don't forget, Saturday at 11 o'clock over in Buell. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, they sell them all. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Zeb. You know, how many of these football players have turned out to be out-and-out gangsters? They've been caught with guns, causing crimes in the streets. Instead of being role models for our younger children, they turn out to be a bunch of hoods.
I agree. There have been way too many. There have been way too many that have used their fame and their fortune to act like they're above the law, and that's exactly the problem. They've got an arrogance and a personality that they are instant millionaires, and they've let it go to their head, and they've superseded the law and the regulations that that team wants them to adhere to. I couldn't agree with you more.
You know, are they following the path of this Democratic Party or what? Or they belong to a different party that we're not aware of?
Well, they're marching to a different drummer because I don't think that they have the, what's the word I'm searching for, the gracious respect for a big hand that has fed them. I don't care what their background was. They were talented and they were gifted, thanks to the good Lord above, that they can play a child's game and play it very well, and then command and demand multi-million-dollar contracts. And how they can forget and not be gracious and thankful for what they have, I just don't understand.
Well, I lost two of my good friends that I went to school with in Korea. And you know, they're really good friends of mine, and then have people like this disrespect people that have given their blood
to
make this country available for these guys to make millions and millions of dollars,
Yeah.
that's a disgrace.
Very well stated, Tony. Thank you, and God bless you and Mary. Thank you for calling in.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, buddy. Caller number 2, go ahead. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have an idea that might get those guys to get to their feet.
All
We
right.
just need to go along behind them with a hot shot. They'd probably be at attention in a hurry.
They'd probably leapfrog out to the 50-yard line is what they do.
They wouldn't even have to go through the whole line, probably.
You know, it's not even really a laughing matter. It's so disgraceful as to what these groups of players have done to denigrate a great game and a great atmosphere. The NFL was heralded as the number one audience getter, if you will, on television. I mean, they were heads and shoulders above everybody, but now they've just denigrated themselves, and they've got the general public, even me, a really proud football fan. I grew up right near the Packers, and I know quite a few of the Packers today that still are playing and or have retired. And it's a shame what this young, greedy bunch of absolute liberal thugs has done.
Yeah. No, the only one of my respect that takes a knee is for the Lord.
Amen. Thank you very much. I appreciate your call. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. And you also. Thank you very much. No, I'm just, I'm looking through eyes that will be closed to the NFL if they act foolishly again this year. As far as Roger Goodell and the NFL hierarchy and the head office of the NFL, what a bunch of clowns looking for a circus. I mean that. Roger Goodell is about as milquetoast as they come. Roger Goodell couldn't even put on the shoes that Pete Rozelle and others wore as a commissioner. They were commissioners that were tough, and they were there for the betterment of the league and the betterment of the players, the betterment of the owners, the betterment of the fans, and the betterment of the sport. Roger Goodell is a clown that forgot to put on his grease paint. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Peachy, thank you. Go ahead.
Hey, the situation is, I mean, they're whether they're killing the goose that laid the golden egg. I mean, I can't support a moment of it, but I think it's in their DNA anymore. I mean, you can't legislate. You can't legislate and force patriotism and love for our country. I mean, I think that these people actually have a dislike for what's going on, and I think it's worth a little discussion about that. I mean, you just can't force this kind of thing on anybody. I don't think they can help themselves. I think it's that pathetic anymore. I'd just like to hear your comments.
Well, let stay on the line with me for a minute, because I want to ask you some questions here, and we'll have a little give and take. I know you can't legislate it, but it shouldn't have to be legislated. When you live in a country that offers all the opportunities and the freedoms and the opportunity to succeed and excel and be able to buy that big home up on the hill, etc., I don't think that there's anybody in their right mind that would adhere to the fact that these people are almost criminal in the way they're treating the situation, like you said, the golden goose. But we have lost sight of the fact that this country has offered a shining beacon on the hill for all the world. If they want to come here legally, they want to work hard, they can absolutely fulfill their dreams, and they can do everything they want to do. You can succeed if you try. These players were handed success without really having to put forth any effort other than just playing a child's game on a football field. And if they can't appreciate it any better than they do, I say fire them, get rid of them, and never allow them to play again.
You're preaching to the choir. Amen. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm just saying that I just don't think these people can. I think they're that pathetic anymore, and I just think that it's just ingrained in them. It's in their DNA, like I say.
Well, let me ask you, I
agree with you completely.
Let me ask you this, though, quickly. Can we ever, and I'm open for your suggestions, what can we do to turn this thing around so that regardless of skin color and race and ethnicity, people will start to have respect for this country again? What can we do?
That's the $64 question, sir. Hey, you and I are the same age, and we go back to Super Bowl I. And last year was the first Super Bowl I just didn't give a hoot and holler about. I didn't watch it. And, I mean, it's that way anymore with me. I think it's just going to be a diminishing viewing and popularity. And I think it's just going to... actually, I don't know what you can do. I really don't. We're so divided anymore.
Yeah.
And this is just it's just bleeding over into sports. And like you say, with all the money, I mean, the fella Coolidge from where is he? From Glen Ferry, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's joined the National Guard. I mean, after he's Super Bowl champion with the Packers, you know who I'm talking about.
Right.
But look, I don't want to take any more of your time. I passed through, and I'd love the conversation while I'm coming through your area. So thank you for your time.
No, I thank you, because it's people like you that make this program bigger and better. God bless you, and have a safe trip. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Right now, a caller, I'm going to ask your patience. Stay on the line, because I've got to get a weather forecast in here. Old Zeb, I get ramble lips, and then I get behind a little bit. Stay with me 1 minute. I'll be right there. Mount Harrison Audiology. Very pleased to announce they have not one but two great doctors serving you and your hearing health. Dr. Pickup and, of course, Dr. Mitchell. And they're located right behind the Minidoka Hospital across from the emergency room. And they are dedicated to serving people with hearing loss of all ages. Call for an appointment today at 312-0957. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Here's a look at your weather forecast for this Thursday. It's going to be another sunny and hot one. Looking at a high of 95. Winds a little bit out of the west, right around 10 miles an hour. Winds could pick up and gusts as high as 21 miles an hour by this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low of 60. Tomorrow, sunny and 95 for tomorrow night, mostly clear with a low of 57. Saturday, another beautiful day, sunny skies, high of 92. Sunday, sunny and 91. That's your weather forecast for Zeb at the Range.
She does a fantastic job. I'm so lucky to have her do the weather. Thanks, Gina. Brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, and they are ready to serve you with your hearing health. Please, they help me. They can help you. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, 312-0957. Caller, good morning. Thank you.
Sometimes when I hear people talking about the greatness of that naughty football player that wouldn't stand at attention for our flag, I think that they should rip up his American dollars and pay him in Korean dollars, and then let him go over there and play on their football team.
Well, first of all, it'd be hard-pressed to find Kim Jong-un's football team. Secondarily, I like the idea about paying in foreign funds with an open invitation to buy a ticket and not come back. I don't care about athletes that don't care about this country. I'm very, very prejudiced against them. I don't care if they're black. I don't care what color their skin is. I don't want them involved in sports making big money in front of the public eye and absolutely reveling in the fact that they live in America, but they're not proud of it.
Yeah, and my father, who was a football player and a football fan, he just lived and died on it. And when he started watching these things come up, especially when they started making all of this money, he said then that it would be the ruination of our favorite sport. Because when they get wealthier and wealthier and wealthier, they seem to have this idea that now I'm so important, I can call the shots.
You know, and that's not just selective to football, and I'm sure, Chris, you would agree with me that there are other walks of life. They've been gifted with talent, and all of a sudden they have a big money contract, and all of a sudden they're looked at upon their rest of their community peers as the leader of the community, primarily because of their wealth, and they've elevated themselves in their own mind as to where they're better than everybody else, and that is sad.
Well, and it is really sad, and the thing about it is Americans love football, and look what we do all fall, and, you know, up until the Super Bowl, and man alive, we just can't tear ourselves away And so sometimes when we're watching that game, we forget that one of those players is just so stupid that you'd like to take them to the woodshed.
Yeah.
And yet, you know what? We cheer them on, and we have Super Bowl parties and all kinds of things. So I think that all Americans are kind of complicit in this.
You know, I will say this, and I maintained this last year, that if the Green Bay Packers, which has been my team, because good heavens, I lived back there, and I know those guys and everything, and I had the opportunity to meet the greatest coach of all time, Vince Lombardi, etc. If they start acting with a childish and absolutely amateur attitude of sitting or kneeling during the national anthem, I said it last year, I will condemn them, and I mean that. I'm not going to have anything good to say about them, because these pampered prima donna athletes, they've got to learn when you play for somebody, you ride for the brand. In other words, you ride and you adhere to the rules and regulations on which you signed that contract.
Yeah. Well, my dad, he was a University of Idaho football player, but he was always a Green Bay Packer fan. And I have a feeling if he runs into some of those Green Bay Packer kids up in heaven, he may have a knockdown and drag out with them.
There you go. Hey, thank you. You are always welcome to call. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We've had some great calls, and I'll take some more in just a minute. Don't forget, on Tuesdays at 9:46, Stoats Equipment, your John Deere dealer at 119 Overland and Burley. They have, of course, what's called the Ag Minutes. Vic and his great staff over there, my goodness, they make your life easier. Don't forget, Stoats Equipment, your John Deere dealer in Burley, with the Ag Minutes on Tuesday. Oh, time for another call. Give me a jingle, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. By the way, when you talk about somebody that elevates themselves to where they're thinking that they're better than you and I and everyone, enter Maxine Waters, representative from California. I'm not making this up. Believe me. She said a weekend ago at a church that she believes that she was sent by God to disrupt and go after President Trump. I'm pausing. I have to, because there are certain words and phrases I want to say so bad, but I can't. Maxine Waters, honestly, she said that. She said, I feel that I've been sent by God to disrupt and go after President Trump. Good heavens. Of all the vile and absolutely challenged people, I think, that are in the Congress and in the Senate, Maxine Waters believes that she was sent by God to disrupt and go after President Trump? As my grandmother used to say, ay, 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 ay. Oh, boy. Anyway, let's not forget our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you. Going on a road trip, are you? You're headed back to maybe Bismarck, or maybe you're headed back to Madison, or maybe you're headed down to Clovis or wherever. Make sure you got the tires that are going to get you there safely and turn around and come home. They've got all the tires for your car, your pickup, your SUV, all your trailers. I mean all the tires, many of which are on sale right now. Stop in, check it out, along with the best in brake service. And I mean that, the best. The best in front-end alignment, shocks and struts, and batteries. Believe me, they want you to have a safe road trip and a good road trip and get back here safely. So service reigns supreme at all 7 locations of your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. The best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Wow, good calls. Thank you, all of you. And coming up at 9:06, we've got the Chamber of Commerce report. I will not stick my neck out and say if it's going to be Sarah or Shaylee. I'm always guessing wrong. Then at 9:17, we've got the Cassia Regional Hospital. We meet some really nice people over there at Cassia Regional. 9:30, my dear friend Rita Ramsey is going to be on the phone talking about politics and everything else. So we've got a really, really big first hour finished and a big second hour about ready to start. Oh, and by the way, don't forget Lunch Bunch today at 11:30 at Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner, 611 North Overland in Burley. Our thanks again for all the gift certificate donations, Walmart, Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, Pomerell Place, Denny's. Thank you. 11:30 today, don't you miss it. Right now, back over to Wheels for about 7 minutes and then more of Zeb at the Ranch. Oh, thank you. Welcome back. Hour number 2 on a Thursday. Zeb at the Ranch with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you. If you're getting ready to leave on a road trip, you better stop in there first. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. And, of course, some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Want to also say a big shout out this morning for our friends at Ark Animal Hospital at 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. Now, they care about pets. They care about the livestock. They care about the health of your animals. So please, it's a mixed animal practice, meaning big or small, they take care of them all. Absolutely. Ark Animal Hospital, and don't forget Dr. Bill, Dr. Jordan, the whole staff, they are committed to your pet and livestock health. Call them, 678-1177. 678-1177, Ark Animal Hospital, where they have the warm hearts for the cold noses. Absolutely. In just a moment, we're going to have the Chamber report, so stand by for that. And first and foremost, I want to remind you about some dear friends of ours at Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert with Joel Heward, family, and staff. You know, they are so community-oriented and so helpful, and they always have a smile on their face. They are there to serve you, always serve you and your family with the highest ethical standards with unquestioned integrity. When there's the passing of a loved one, they are there to help you. Please call the number 436-5636. I'll repeat that again, 436-5636. Hanson Mortuary in Rupert, and Joel Heward also serving you and your families at Morrison Payne Funeral Home on East Main in Burley. Right now, and believe me, I'm not going to stick my neck out this time because I was wrong. I get 50% right or wrong. It's either Sarah or Shaylee at the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. Enter and sign in, please. Who do we have?
This is Sarah. Good morning, Zeb. How are you today?
Hello, Rapid Fire. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
What's going on over at the Chamber?
Oh, we have so much, but first I have a joke for you. Are you ready?
I am absolutely ready.
Okay, what is the difference between a hippo and a zippo?
A hippo and a zippo?
A hippo and a zippo.
You definitely have me on this one.
Okay, one is really heavy and the other's a little lighter.
Can I groan now?
You can.
Oh!
I like it.
Thanks, Sarah.
Oh, no problem. All right, we've got a lot coming down the line this week. Next Friday, August 3rd, we're going to have a ribbon cutting at River Valley Orthodontics at their new beautiful building on East Main Street. I encourage you all to come see that. I cannot wait to see the inside of that building. It's going to be beautiful. We've also, the Chamber is launching their Mini-Cassia Leadership Program. This is for members, and it's a series of one-day seminars held monthly from September through May. And it gives those enrolled participants just really in-depth information of all of the different companies in our area and kind of what makes our area unique. So if you're interested in that, contact me here at the Chamber. It's going to be new to me. I'm going to be taking it this year, and I'm so excited to do that. We're launching a photo competition here at the Chamber as well. You can find all more information on this on our website. But if you have any neat pictures of our area, send them over to me by email. You can find my email address on our website. The winners of this photo contest will get their pictures hung in our visitor center for an entire year, plus some chamber cash and other goodies. So if you have any interest in that, get in touch with me. We can't wait to see the pictures of our area.
By the way, Sarah, what is chamber cash?
Chamber Cash is an awesome opportunity for local businesses in our area to participate. It's kind of like a gift card that you can spend at our members who choose to enroll in this. So you can pick up Chamber Cash here at our office and spend it at various locations in our area. So it keeps our local dollars local. It's kind of like a gift card, but you can use it just like cash at various participating members, and you can find that list on our website as well.
Wow. Okay, well, I know you've got a list that's probably as long as my leg. Go ahead.
It is. So Starley Levitt Insurance is inviting you to their Customer Appreciation Day barbecue, and that is today at their Overland location here in Burley from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come enjoy a hamburger or Polish sausage with them and just say hi to those people at Starley Levitt. They're looking forward to it. PMT Foundation is accepting grant applications. If you need more information on that, visit pmt.org or call us here at the Chamber. We can get you more information as well.
Okay.
Next week, August 4th, the Charlie Battery 148th Field Artillery Regiment is having an open house, and that's a mouthful. It's at the Armory by the airport. That's going to be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a great time to just meet the people over there at the Armory. They're going to have the armored vehicles, the military vehicles on display, inflatable obstacle course, shooting gallery. Come check that out. The VFW is also going to partner with them and do the Family Freedom Festival at the same time at South Freedom Park from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So come support your local veterans, say hello, and thank them for their service.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Coming down the line this next week, Minidoka County Fair. After that, Cassia County Fair. You can find links to those agendas and everything that's happening on our website. We still have tickets for the Magic Valley Folk Festival this week here at the Chamber. There's just so much going on. If you are sitting at home, you need to check out our calendar on our website and find something to do.
Wow. I mean, you need to take 2 aspirin and sit in your desk chair and rest for a while, but holy smokes, how can they get a hold of the Chamber to find out more information?
Absolutely. Call us anytime. We're here 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 208-679-4793. We're located here right next to Riverside Park in Hayburn, 11777 7th Street. Check out our website, www.minicasiachamber.com.
You know what we need to have you do every week from now on? I'm going to ask you for Sarah's Groaners, and you're going to have a special segment of some of the sickest jokes I've ever heard.
I love it. I love it. I love those punny jokes. They're great.
I'll look forward to having you back next week, and we'll have another one.
All right. Thanks, Deb. I appreciate it.
God bless you. Over at the Minidoka Chamber of Commerce, that's Sarah, and boy, does she do a great job giving us all that's happening right here in the Magic Valley. And, of course, you can find out more by getting a hold of the great folks at the Minidoka Chamber of Commerce. Really, really good people. I got a couple of things I got to take care of here real quick. Number one, I want to remind you that on Tuesdays we have Vicky's Country Garden. And that's, of course, at 9:30 in the morning, and Vicky's Country Garden celebrating 21 years in business. My, oh, my, oh, my. And lovely Miss Vicky, of course, has all the information about how your garden should be growing, what you need to do to take care of all the bugs and the pests and everything. So be listening. Vicky's Country Garden, 185 South, 600 West of Paul. Number to call, 438-5663. In just a few minutes, we're going to get ready for our Cassia Regional Hospital report, but I also want to tell you that you need to get outside. You just need to get outside and enjoy the beautiful outdoors of Idaho. Why don't you stop over at Let's Ride, 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World, and check out all the ATVs. I mean, they've got a showroom full of them. And I guarantee you 0% financing on ATVs, and they've got the Honda Pioneer side-by-sides. They got all the watercraft. They've got all the accessories you need. Nick and Randy and the crew over there at Let's Ride are there to serve you. And one other thing I want to mention, they've got old Tyson and the crew right there in the service department to keep you running. These people really care, and they can and will help you. Let's Ride, 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World, and this is where the fun is sold. Absolutely. Let's see, what else have I got here real quick? Oh, yes. And while you're over in that area, you need to remember our friends with Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. My goodness, life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits, all of this and so much more with the professionals. The professionals. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. All you need to do is just call, make an appointment at 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, serving you. Don't forget, the big Minidoka County Fair starts this next week, and they're going to have the Lawnmower Racing Series. Series number 3 is going to be Monday night, put on by the East End Fire Department. For more information, contact the Minidoka County Fair office, 436-9748, or Joe Phillips at 431-6351. Lawnmower races Monday night at the Minidoka County Fairgrounds starting at 6 p.m., concessions at 5:30 p.m. Rum, gentlemen and ladies, start your engines. It's going to be wild. Right now, my dear friend Wheels over at the station is ready for now to meet some more people at your Cassia Regional Hospital.
People caring about you and your health care in the most professional and progressive ways. That's Cassia Regional Hospital, located at 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. In a moment, we'll introduce you to just one of the many dedicated medical experts serving you at Cassia Regional Hospital. Today's program, right after this. Cassia Regional Hospital provides you and your family excellent health care answers and services. They're right here, close to home. That's right. Cassia Regional Hospital offers the latest technological advances in medicine, like their new oncology programs and telehealth, which uses electronic information and telecommunications to promote long-distance patient and clinical health care. Your friends, your neighbors. Cassia Regional Hospital, 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. Quality care close to home. Visiting this morning with another of the great people at Cassia Regional Hospital, Lacey Ball, X-ray technician. Good morning, and how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Now, we're talking to folks in the imaging department, imaging technicians at Cassia Regional. What do you do as a specified job?
Mammography.
Explain that a little bit to the audience, if you would.
So mammography is a screening tool for breast cancer. So what we're doing is we're screening the breast with imaging, X-rays. We just got a new machine in, the 3D machine, which is kind of a big thing for this area.
Okay, when you say mammography and the checking, I would imagine it takes a lot of hours of education and training to learn what to look for and how to ascertain it on these tests. Tell us about that.
Definitely. It's, we have to go to special training for each modality that we do as technologists, but mammography in specific we do. We go train, and then you have to have a certain number of, actual patients that you've worked on. Everything has to be passed off. You have to be accredited and things like that.
Did you have any ambitions of doing this for a life's work years ago, or how did you get started?
Honestly, I kind of graduated high school, and I was into sports, and, I thought, it'd be cool to do X-rays, and then it just happened to kind of just come along with the job. Working at Cassia, we kind of just get to do lots of things.
Well, now, the mammographies, I would assume that the technology has literally saved lives.
Yes, for sure.
Explain that a little bit.
Technically what it does is if you come in each year after the age of 40, depending on, lots of things go into it, but typically they start around 40. You get the screening and mammogram, and each year you come back. If there's certain changes or certain characteristics of your breast that changes, our doctor will take a look and he will call you back, and that's kind of where that screening tool comes in, is they'll work, each of these cases up And the idea is to, if you were to develop breast cancer, we would catch it early enough that we could catch it, take care of it, and you shouldn't, there's a 95% chance of recovery.
95% chance of recovery today as opposed to years gone by, right?
Right, exactly, and that's with the early detection. So that's why it's very, very important to come each year and not take time off.
Well, for women in the audience that say, oh, well, I'll put it off, it's not that important, some of the insurance companies are saying, I don't really need to do it, what would you tell them?
I always tell patients, because I talk to people all the time, do I really need to come in every year? And I would say, for your health, yes, because it is so important to catch that cancer early, and that's where that 95% recovery chance comes from, is just coming in, doing it.
What about the process itself? Are people inhibited about doing this? Is it painful to any degree? Describe what the actual mammography is.
So what it does is you take the breast and you put it in compression. So I think that's what scares patients the most to come in, is because you're, taking the sensitive tissue and you're compressing it. And that's probably the most complaint that we get, is it can be somewhat uncomfortable. But with the new technology and the new machine that we have here at CAJA, that has actually gotten even better as far as comfortability. And patients have said that, it is much better than it used to be. But I think it's that compression that scares patients. But it's honestly, it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but it's a very quick exam, and we're pretty proficient here, and you're done in and out before you know it.
Okay, now you said something earlier that piques my interest. In other words, you keep a file of year to year so that the doctors can actually compare and then see if there's any imposing problem.
Yes, exactly. We keep all mammograms up to, I believe it's about 10 years, and then they kind of start to fall off. But as far as, with new technology, everything is digital, so everything is saved digitally and electronically, so those files and reports are saved for years and years.
Okay. Now, you also do, and this is something I don't know about the differences in the terminology, CAT scans. Explain that a little bit.
CAT scans is computed tomography. What it does is it uses radiation as well to scan through certain parts of your body, and what it does is it takes pictures in slices, like a bread slice, so you're getting very detailed imaging of the inside of your body.
Now, how long does that procedure take, and is there any uncomfort attributed to that?
Typically, depending on what kind of CAT scan you get, they can take up to 2 hours long as far as prep. Usually scan time is around 20 minutes. The only issue is if you're severely claustrophobic. Some people struggle with that going in head first. But like I said, most scan times are very quick compared to like an MRI. And then occasionally you need an IV to where we can administer medication, and sometimes that can be uncomfortable getting that needle poke. But other than that, it's fairly easy.
Lacey, what would be some of the symptoms of various problems that would precipitate going to have a CAT scan?
Kind of depending on the physician. You always have to have an order before you come in to the imaging department from your actual doctor. But I would say one of the biggest things for CAT scans would be abdominal pain is a big thing. People coming in, we're checking their intestines, their organs, things like that. I would say that's the number one. Headaches, we can scan the brain, things like that.
It doesn't sound like there's a dull moment in your line of work.
No, and it's different every day, and that's why I love doing it, because you don't come to work and do the same things every day.
What else would you like my audience to know and potential patients to know about your department with mammography and CAT scans?
Honestly, we have a great group of techs here, and we're all very knowledgeable. We have a lot of, seasoned techs here, and it makes it really nice to have people that know what they're doing. And we're a really fun group, and we hear that a lot from patients, that they really enjoy coming here because we're fun, and we make, something that's probably not the funnest thing to be here for, because most of the time you're sick and not feeling well, and we just help brighten your day a little bit better.
I love the concept of the personality. Lacey Ball, I appreciate it very much, and she is an X-ray technician at Cassia Regional Hospital. Thank you for sharing with us on the program this morning.
You're welcome.
Tune in every Thursday at 9:18 right here on Zeb at the Ranch for more about the people and the healthcare services at your Cassia Regional Hospital, 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. Quality care close to home.
I really enjoy those segments with Cassia Regional. They've got some wonderful, wonderful, top-notch people over there. Okay, I've got time for a call or two. Give me a jingle on the landline, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. While I have a moment, I want to remind you, too, about the Bennett Boys Auction. Going to have a sale this coming Saturday, the Sheen Living Estate Auction, and it's going to be at 11 o'clock this coming Saturday, July 28th, located in Buell, and the address 1285 East 4400 North. Look for all the signs, okay? They're going to have tractors and farm equipment along with ATVs and trailers. They got a 2004 Honda Rancher ATV. They've got shop equipment and tools, all kinds of compressors and welding equipment, lawn and garden items and miscellaneous items. Holy moly, you better be there. The Sheen Living Estate Auction this coming Saturday, July 28th, over in Buell area, 1285 East, 4400 North, managed by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. The Bennett Boys, no sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, they sell them all, absolutely. Calls are welcome, 436-2244. 1-866-927-4587. Just a quick reminder, in about 2 hours, we're going to be over at Denny's Restaurant, and it's our monthly Zeb's Lunch Bunch. And I really do urge you to take the time maybe to call somebody, your friends or your neighbors or your relatives, and we'll fill the place up today at 11:30. And again, thanks to Thomas and the crew at Denny's Restaurant. Wonderful, wonderful people, and oh my, delicious menu choices for Zeb's Lunch Bunch at 11:30. And again, our thanks to Walmart, Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, Pomerell Place, and Denny's for all the gift certificate drawings that we'll have as giveaways. So we'll see you there at Denny's at 611 North Overland in Burley at 11:30. Okay? Also want to remind you again, let's see, about, wait a minute, how come I got that over there? That's interesting. I made a little mistake on my log. The lawnmower races Monday, a lady called just a little bit ago and said, what's this about the lawnmower races again on Monday? Yes, the East End Fire Department is going to be putting them on at the Minidoka County Fairgrounds as part of the opening day kickoff of the Minidoka County Fair, and it's going to start at 6 p.m., concessions open at 5:30 p.m., and for more information, you can call Joe Phillips at 431-6351. Big lawnmower races coming up at the Minidoka County Fairgrounds on Monday night. All right, calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a call. Love to hear from you, so give us a jingle on the landline. By the way, all of this, of course, going on with the Minidoka County Fair this next week, and the fair will be celebrating their 70th anniversary, 70 years of annual Minidoka County Fair, this year with the theme Building Dreams at the Minidoka County Fair. And for more information on all the activities they're going to have over there next week, I urge you to call the fair office at 436-9748. Wonderful people Monday with the lawnmower races, Tuesday with the Tiny Tot Gymkhana, and also the PMT concert with Charlie Jenkins. Wednesday, the Antique Engine Show, the Lions Barbecue, all you can eat. Whoa, that's going to be great. Be sure and stop over and get your tickets. And the Fair Board Social, and then Wednesday and Thursday, the Junior Rodeo. Friday and Saturday, the Wild West Open Rodeo. It is going to be a lot of fun at your 70th annual Minidoka County Fair, where again, the theme, Building Dreams at the Minidoka County Fair. Well, with all that being said, let's check with Wheels right now and see if we have our dear friend Rita on the line. Rita Ramsey, are you there?
You know, sir, she has not. Oh, never mind.
How much you want to bet? That's her. As we speak, she's calling in. Thank you very much. And we'll see what she has to say this morning. Good morning, Rita. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Well, I am peachy, and I wanted to ask you this first before we really get rolling this morning. Don't you feel blessed that Maxine Waters feels that God asked her to come down from heaven and be the thorn in Donald Trump's side?
Well, I'm glad she recognizes that. The big problem is we know it's just a big bunch of spiel, and she doesn't believe it for a minute. She's just using it as an excuse.
Yeah, I was just taken aback this morning. I was going from the bedroom to the living room, and I heard that excerpt that Maxine Waters honestly believes, and she said this in a church a week ago, that I was sent from God to disrupt and go after President Trump. That almost made me sick.
Well, it does. And, you know, you and I can say, I know that I have a purpose, that why I'm here on earth, and I believe that there's things I ought to accomplish. I think she's kind of going out on a limb a little bit more, but if she was really accomplishing godlike things, she wouldn't be doing a lot of the stuff she's doing.
And another woman that you and I both remember from decades ago that made an absolute fool out of herself, Jane Fonda. Remember Hanoi Jane? She somewhat is apologizing for sitting on that North Vietnamese tank. Gee, aren't we all ready to say, oh, that's okay, Jane?
Well, I think she and John Kerry ought to grasp hands and start singing Kumbaya, because that's what they were doing. They have gone, that's 50 years ago.
Yeah, it just makes me sick that she...
And for them to all of a sudden come to terms that, you know, maybe I was a little foolish and I was young and caught up in the war thing and stuff like that, and I'm truly sorry. I mean, that could have come out 35 years ago, and we would have maybe believed it.
Yeah.
But it's been almost 50 years since all that happened.
Absolutely. Now, I have been very impressed, and I mentioned it the first hour. I hope you heard my remarks. I watched quite a bit of that Senate hearing yesterday with the senators questioning Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State. And I mean this when I say this. Of all the people that have gone in front of a Senate hearing, I have been thoroughly impressed with his demeanor, thoroughly impressed with his professionalism, and his ability to look them in the eye and put them, the senators, in their place. What are your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. It just shows that he's an absolute class act. He knows what he's doing. He knows what's going on. He knows how to handle the press. He knows how to answer questions. He also knows how to do his homework. And that is one thing that the senators don't do. They don't do their own homework. They have somebody else do it for them. I'd heard somebody mentioning Senator Cardin. I think he might be from Massachusetts or one of those northeast states. Anyway, in his things that he was asking, he was saying, you this and you that, and they did this about this particular, I don't know whether you'd call it a treaty or a policy or whatever. And it's kind of like, you don't understand that we do abide by that policy, and we have, and I just said that. And, I mean, he was made to look stupid. But this is what happens is these people get up on a pedestal, many senators, many congressmen, and they think all they have to do is look pretty, and people will stuff money in their pockets, and they have underlings to take care of all of their research and everything. And then they don't actually go through and proof, this is what I'm going to say, or practice it. They just start reading from either an iPad or a phone or some notes that somebody's given them, and don't even know that what they're saying is not even true.
Absolutely. The response that I smirked at and laughed at and thought was absolutely one of the ones I wanted to keep was the one with Senator Robert Menendez, Democrat, and he was questioning Mike Pompeo, and Mike Pompeo looked at him and said, I know the games that you're playing, Senator. I know the games that you're trying to achieve. And it really set Menendez back in his chair.
Well, and, if I was Menendez, I'd be laying real low about accusations. He's lucky he's not sitting in prison.
You have hit it right on the head. Isn't it amazing how some of these people with a very crimson past are coming out and criticizing others, and the facts are not all in because they were hidden about Menendez and others and some of their illicit activities?
Well, that's what just really gripes you. These people are so insane, and I say that seriously. How could you have gone through all that stuff, all those accusations, and then bounce back and start pointing your finger at somebody for something that isn't even true, and you don't have any kind of details, you don't know anything about it, and all of a sudden you're going to start, pointing. It's kind of like, you know what, there were a lot of details that people had proof with you. Just because you bought off a jury or had a bunch of idiots that had one little exclusion that exempted you from it doesn't mean that you weren't doing that kind of stuff, and it's illegal.
Absolutely. I want to talk to you about Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Holy smokes, was I impressed, and it takes a lot for me to be impressed because I always thought that Jeff Sessions was kind of milquetoasty and really not willing to get his feet wet in the water. He came out the other day and he really toasted those sanctimonious snowflakes. Did you hear that?
I did, and you know what? I've hoped more than anything else, but I have felt like that he's pretty thorough and he knows what's going on. It really irritated a lot of people that he would turn stuff over to Rosenstein and exempt himself from that investigation. The big problem is that if he wouldn't have, he would have had way more problems and troubles on his hands. And so he has just been slowly going down the road, getting rid of the weeds, okay, we're going to do this with illegal immigration, we're going to fire in at this area, and we're going to do that and the other. And they have really made a lot of headway, not headlines, but headway in a lot of the illegal immigration stuff that's been going on. And so I'm glad to see that there were a little bit of, him redeeming himself to the public, but I also think he's not the kind of person that thinks he has to have the public approval to do his job and obey the law and enforce the law.
Though, the subject matter of what he was talking about, the sanctimonious snowflakes that want everything, gimme, 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 and really not providing anything to society other than asking for crying spaces and cuddly dolls and little fuzzy-wuzzy animals because they're not adult enough to face the world. He's really right. We've got to stop this absolutely insane attitude about these 18 to 25-year-olds. They're not man or woman enough to face up to reality and be a part of society.
Well, and that's the part that's really sad, is they do need to be part of society, and they need to be knowledgeable. They're supposed to be our leaders here in another 20 years, and it's kind of scary to think that people, and it's not all of them, and I because I know of a lot of good ones.
Absolutely.
But there's a majority, a big majority of them that, this is just too tough. I just don't know if I can do it. I need a room where I can have a timeout.
Rita, honestly, think back. And I know that for me, I'm a lot older than you are, and I can still remember my high school and college days, and I can remember when, oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to get this done. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do here? And it was pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, bucko, because there's nobody else going to carry the load with you.
Well, that's absolutely right. I didn't go to college, but that happened with me in high school when I got into the workforce and I was raising a family, and I had tons and tons of different places I needed to be and things I needed to do. I couldn't just sit back and say, I need to have a timeout and see if I can figure this. It's like, okay, keep going forward and see what you can grab along the way that will help you to get through it. And because of it, it made me a better person, made me more efficient, made me be able to look in a lot of different directions for resources and that type of thing. And all it can do is make you stronger and better if you'll just implement those kind of things. When we exempt those snowflakes from having to do any of that implementing, that's what they will stay. They will stay as little snowflakes that will melt when you look at them crosswise.
You know, I can't imagine. I got to ask Wheels a question really fast. Wheels, do we have a lot of static on the line all of a sudden?
We do, yes.
Is it bad enough that we need to reestablish a line quickly?
No, it's not, but if it gets any worse, we will.
All right, thank you. Rita, I can't imagine, nor do I want to even think about what would have happened had I gone home from college on a break and my German father, that was a former boxer, would have found out that if I were part of that cuddly crowd that I couldn't handle the pressure and I had to go into a crying room with a cuddly doll. Holy smokes.
Yeah, you'd have probably got hard labor on the North 40.
Dad was good at that. He really was. I want to also ask you about something else that really is bothering me, and it's these security clearances. I'm not trying to sound partisan on this. I just think it's the way it should be. That the security clearances for Comey and Brennan and others, Susan Rice, etc., they should have been jerked and thrown in the garbage can a long time ago. But in addition to that, why not Hillary Clinton's?
Well, that's what just baffles me is, and I've heard military people call in on different shows and different news outlets that I listen to during the day and say, you know what? When I was in the military, I had a security clearance, and many of them that call in say, I had some of the highest security clearances that are even available, and they had to be renewed for every assignment. It wasn't every 6 months or every 3 months or every however often. It was each assignment carried different responsibilities, and I would have to qualify for the security clearance for that particular thing. And the moment I finish that thing, that security clearance is withdrawn, and I have no more access to any of that. I even have to sign things saying I won't talk about it. And here you've got these people, CIA directors, FBI directors, all kinds of people, former Secretary of State, that have breached all kinds of avenues that they shouldn't have, and they still have clearances and can get in there and do whatever they want. Their security clearances should have been wrapped up and finished when Trump was inaugurated.
Well, I don't understand, when you start making a list of people that you don't want with security clearances, naturally I can understand get rid of John Brennan. He's one of the most hateful, deceitful, and lying individuals in Washington, Comey, etc. But then looking over to the other issue with Hillary Clinton, Huma Abedin, her right-hand lady Friday, has still got a security clearance, and look at the problems with her ex-husband and everything else. How in the world do these people keep a security clearance? It drives my mind crazy.
Well, that's why they shouldn't have it, is because now they're doing nefarious things. Before, it was like the president said, okay, we'll let you do whatever you want to do, or that's okay with me. But now they don't have anybody to police them, and heaven forbid that the president now would say, hey, wait a minute, we don't need to have you have clearances because you don't need it. You don't need it anymore. And you're just gaining access to a lot of things that you shouldn't be gaining access to.
Well, it's really kind of a scary situation, especially with Brennan. I just absolutely can't stand that man and what he's done as far as throwing the word traitor out and treason and everything else. The left is right now, they are grasping at straws. And those straws are of hate and deceit and, quite frankly, overthrowing our country. That's my belief.
Well, they are, and it's funny that Brennan would say those kinds of things, being a communist and everything like he is. It's just really sad. All of those people should have their security clearances revoked. It's done. You're over with. You finished your job. Yeah. And it shouldn't be any different than the military. Do they think that they got a security clearance for the rest of their life, or Supreme Court kind of thing, or what?
I've got to do a weather forecast, and then we're going to come back with more with Rita Ramsey. It's Thursdays with Rita, and we certainly appreciate her. Right now, the weather brought to you by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. The very best of accounting services to the Minicash area for well over 50 years. The best of tax return preparation, tax planning, business consulting, financial statement preparation, retirement planning, and you'd better check on the new tax laws that are affecting tax rates and tax deductions. A lot of things have changed. They have the answers, and they can help you. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Here's a look at your weather forecast for this Thursday. It's going to be another sunny and hot one. Looking at a high of 95, winds a little bit out of the west, right around 10 miles an hour. Winds could pick up and gusts as high as 21 miles an hour by this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low of 60. Tomorrow, sunny and 95 for tomorrow night, mostly clear with a low of 57. Saturday, another beautiful day, sunny skies, high of 92. Sunday, sunny and 91. That's your weather forecast for Zeb at the Range.
And thank you very much. I appreciate it. And, of course, don't forget our dear friends, Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company, with offices in Burley, Rupert, and they're serving you with all the information about the 2018 PATH Act. Make sure you check it out today about the tax rate changes, the new deductions, and changes to the old deductions. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. Rita, with all this news going on and the lying and the deceit in Washington, D.C., and the absolute hatred, I mean hatred against Donald Trump and his administration, things just don't look like they're ever going to settle down to a slow simmer. If Trump does run for another term, and I believe he'll win, I wonder how much worse this can get.
Well, we know that it probably will get worse before it gets better, but the big thing is that people have got to start doing their homework. They've got to learn some of the facts. They can't just look at one-line stories, the headlines on a story. They need to read the whole thing. If they can become informed, then they'll find out that there's a lot of things that are being thrown around that they're buying. I run into it all the time. I'm sure you do too. When you talk to somebody and they say, well, did you know? And it's kind of like, you obviously don't know the whole story, do you?
Yeah, it's exactly right.
And that's what makes us have power, is that we can learn and know what's going on. And when we sit back and just let somebody else feed us, we're going to hook, line, and sink, and that's what the Democrats have been hoping for the last 50 years, and they've been highly successful. Right now, you've got enough Americans that are savvy about what's going on that they're saying the Democrats have gone off the rails, and we definitely have got to do something, or America's going to be down the tube. And it was just kind of like they were sitting on the fence before, so a lot of the fencers joined the rest of us that were kind of like, hey, we have to do something. We can't have Hillary. And they got Trump in, and now you've still got those old hardliners and the deep state just mad as heck because they aren't the ones in charge.
I don't know if you caught this or not, but Joe Lieberman, independent, was on television, and they were asking him about the Anastasia Cortez and Cory Booker personalities, etc., and how extreme they're taking the Democratic Party to the far, far left of socialism. And Lieberman just shook his head, and he said, this has got to stop. There absolutely cannot be a move by the Democrats to go to the socialistic/communistic attitude because it's going to be the ruination of their entire party, but they're not smart enough to see it.
Well, there was a reason that Lieberman left the Democratic Party. And it's because they lost all sense of any kind of sanity, and they just kept going further and further left. And Lieberman is really, I think, in his own right, somewhat of a patriot in the things that he's done and said, and he actually had the nerve and the backbone to say, you know what, this isn't me anymore, and so I'm not going to be with you guys I'll be on my own before I be with you guys anymore.
Well, and one other issue that you and I talked about a week ago, and I was shocked when I started hearing about various other cities, various other mayors and city councils that are absolutely adamant that they want to toy with the idea and maybe try to perfect the idea of providing universal income to the less than, let's say, the average in the city. They want to just give free money away. This is insane.
Well, they obviously aren't smart enough to know that socialism doesn't work, and that's the first sign of it, is saying, let's put everybody on an equal thing. So those that don't make as much money as Joe Schmo, we'll give you that much money, and then there's going to be questions coming up saying, where's the money coming from?
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous, the things that they do, just like some of these cities and counties in California saying, well, we're going to let the illegals vote because they live here and they pay our taxes and stuff, and hopefully there are people, and I noticed that there was one former congressman that's trying to amend the California law to specify that only citizens can vote.
That's right.
So there are a few people that have a little bit of reason with them, but it just seems like you get somebody up and saying something, and pretty soon you've got all these followers, and you got a bandwagon, and they think they're going to make all these changes. And the people with the common sense have got to stand up and say, "Hey, wait a minute, put on the brakes. We've got to re-look at this."
Did you see or hear about Haddam, Connecticut's select woman? They don't call them councilwoman. They call them select man and women back in that town, Melissa Schlag. And she was the one that when the city council stood up to give the Pledge of Allegiance, she slipped to her knees and said, "I will not stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance and honor the flag." Boy, I would have opened the door and said, "Melissa, baby, it's a long walk home."
Well, that's what they should have done. Hopefully there's a few people in her precinct or in her area, whoever elects her, saying, "Hey, wait a minute, we got the wrong person here. We're going to right now demand for for you to step down while we make some changes, and we'll do it all legally. But for right now, we want you to have a vacation."
Absolutely. And then she went on to say, I don't know if you heard this or not, her remarks where she said, I got to find it here, where she said, the Pledge of Allegiance doesn't have anything to do with the flag. What? When I was a little boy in grade school, that's the first thing we did is get out of our desk in the morning, stand up, put our hand over our heart, and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. What's going on with this woman?
What is the first line of the Pledge of Allegiance?
Bingo.
Hello, I pledge allegiance to Cuba, or to Obama, or to Connecticut. No, I think it says the flag.
Where do they get these people? I mean, whether it's athletes in the NFL or whether it's dipsticks like this that are on city councils and everything, absolutely destroying the fabric of America.
Well, it is. And, I mentioned this to my husband the other day. I said, things are going so screwball and so many people are just totally out there. And it's because we've had so much prosperity.
Yeah.
We have not been in a war that everybody had to pull together just to survive in over 70 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have had prosperity up the wazoo. I mean, yeah, we've had a few bumps and bruises, but we've got food, we've got homes. We haven't had to stand in soup lines, with hundreds of thousands of people saying, we just need food, like some countries have. Because of the prosperity and the climate of war and everything else, we've just had it really, really simple. And that's when some of these idiots just go off the rails. And then there's 2 or 3 generations that have never had things tough. And it's kind of like, well, this is the way it's always going to be.
Yeah.
Those of us that have been around for a few more days recognize that there were some situations that we don't want to be back in. But maybe that's what it'll have to take for some of these people to wake up.
I think you're 100% right, and I enjoy Thursdays with Rita right here on my program. Rita Ramsey, God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be warm. We'll see you next Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Love that lady. And boy, that phone came down. Anyhow, I want to remind you right now it's time for If You're Hungry, Starving to Death. I am. How about let's go to the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley. All the shakes and all the ice cream cones for hot weather, along with hot dogs and chicken strips. And of course, the famous Farmer Brown burgers with the fries and the special sauce. Oh, it is good. At the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. Well, how about Taco Bandito? 2301 Overland in Burley. Oh, my goodness sakes, those street tacos with the shell and the choice of the meat, either steak or pork or fire-roasted salsa chicken. Woo! Open your eyes to that. Choice of cheese, taco sauce, Pio de Gio salsa. I think I said that right. All the new pork burritos, everything at Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. And let's go now to Burgers Etc. 2 locations, 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. And they've got that medium spicy chicken combo with fries and drink, only $5.99. And every Sunday at the Burley location, shrimp dinner, just $5.99. And the delicious fresh strawberry shakes at Burgers Etc. in Rupert and Burley. Last but not least, Steve-O's at 290 South 600 west of Hayburn. Food made the way you love it. The patio's open, live music on the weekends from 6 to 9. I'm drooling. They've got those delicious buffalo burgers and great salads and those new cheesy broccoli spuds without the L. It sounds better. And don't forget they've got cupcakes too. Absolutely delicious food at Steve-O's, 290 South 600 west of Hayburn. And those are just a few great places to go when you're hungry and starving to death. We are going to send it back over to our old buddy Wheels in just a second for the news from CBS. And then coming up next hour, we've got Cassia County School Days. And I believe we're going to have a gentleman on the air by the name of Chris James, the business manager for the Cassia District. And then our business salute at 10:23, Jeff over at Lee's Furniture. So we got a whole bunch of things coming up. Zeb at the Ranch, don't you go away. Oh, my. How time flies when we're having fun. Good morning, Zeb at the Ranch. And, of course, brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you. Getting ready for a road trip? You're going to get out of Dodge City? Well, I'll tell you what, they've got all the tires and the brake service and the front end alignments, everything at all 7 locations. Don't forget, too, some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Quick reminder that at 11:30 this morning, we're going to be at Denny's Restaurant, and you know the drill. It's Zeb's Lunch Bunch, and we urge you to be in attendance. We have a lot of fun. And we give away a lot of gifts, too, a lot of gift certificates, and we want to say thanks again to Walmart, Smith's Foods, Handsome Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, Pomerell Place, and Denny's. And Denny's Restaurant, if you're not sure where it is, I'm going to tell you. It's at 611 North Overland in Burley. And Zeb's Lunch Bunch coming up at 11:30 this morning. Be there. I'm going to hurry down the road. I know Wheels is going to be there. I think he said his mom's going to be there. We're going to have a lot of fun. Also, next Monday is the start of the Minidoka County Fair, and it's going to kick off on Monday night with the lawnmower races and go all the way through the week, so don't miss it. It's your Minidoka County Fair, the 70th annual edition, so be there and enjoy. For those that are tuning in at 10:30 this morning for the old fishing hole, Josh called my wife a little bit ago, and he's out at Salmon Dam. He's back over there fishing in the rocks, I believe, with the rattlesnakes and everything else, and so that's coming up at 10:30. And, of course, that's brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse. Right now, it is time for Cassia County School Days, and we are blessed with two great sponsors. One, of course, A Child's World at 1308 Overland and Burley, and they've got everything, all the clothing and the furniture and the games and the puzzles and the toys. Just name it, it's there. It is a family store, and they are waiting to serve you. So stop in today at 1308 Overland in Burley, A Child's World. And also the Ambulatory Surgery Center for your outpatient surgeries, where they can and they will save you money. Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland in Burley. And the number to call and find out more, 677-8888. That number again, 677-8888. Ambulatory Surgery Center and A Child's World. They are bringing you School Days in Cassia County. Yes?
I was just going to let you know that I have not heard from Mr. James yet.
Well, Mr. James had better hurry and get on the phone. Mr. Chris James is scheduled to be on the air right now for Cassia County School Days, so we will hopefully have him call in just a few moments. So let me know if he gets on the air, okay?
I will, sir.
All right. Once again, this is live radio, and we have little pitfalls every now and then. And we're waiting for the business manager for the school district to give us a call and get on the program. Chris James is scheduled for right this minute. So anybody that knows where he is, maybe he's out mowing the lawn, maybe he's out pruning the flowers, go over and tell him, get on your phone and give us a call real quick, okay? Until then, give us a jingle on the landline at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give us a call. Another little note, we mentioned this story the other day, that a young man in Oregon, he graduated from high school just recently, and he's going to be going to college. A former high school student in Oregon, remember, he made the national news because he wore a T-shirt that simply said Border Wall Construction Company. And the school went nuts. I mean, the administrators and the teacher, oh, you can't wear that in our class. Why, you're going to be disruptive. And they told him he had to take it off. And he said, no, I don't have to take it off. There's nothing foul or obscene or anything about this. And I can express my First Amendment rights. Well, anyway, long story short, they went to court. And now the school and the administrators and the teachers had to issue this young man an apology, and he was also paid $25,000 from the school district because the court said no, he did nothing wrong, and the school was wrong for taking him out of class, suspending him, throwing him out of school, all of that for wearing a T-shirt that said Border Wall Construction Company. And the young man won. And rightfully so. Let's see if we have our gentleman on the air. Wheels, has he called in?
No, sir. I still have not heard from
Deanne, if you would, please, can you try to get a hold of this Chris James, the business manager for Cassia County School District? He is supposed to be on the air with us right now, and he is not called in, so we need to get a hold of him immediately. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. In the interim, give me a call. I would love to hear from you about any subject matter that we've talked about so far this morning, and you'd be saving my life, because right now we were expecting to have this segment on the air for Cassia County School Days, but we can't seem to find our guest. So once again, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a call. Wheels, what do you want to talk about for the next couple of minutes while we sit here twiddling our thumbs waiting to see if we can find this guy? You been fishing yet this summer?
I haven't. I still plan on meeting you going out fishing so you can break out that fishing pole that you've had.
Surely you meant to say you and I.
You and I, yes. I apologize. Let me retract my statement. You and I need to go fishing still so I can have you break out that fishing pole.
And you know the thing is, I have not had the time to go. I absolutely need to get everything baited up, hooked up on that pole. I can't wait to try it, and I've been so doggone busy every weekend, I haven't had the chance. We're just going to have to make arrangements so that when the program's over someday, we can meet someplace at a pond, a stream, a lake, a river, whatever, and get it done.
Well, sir, we still have, maybe at least 2 months left until, fall comes. So I say that, even if we have to meet each other halfway, excuse me, then we can go out fishing.
Absolutely. I look forward to it.
And, by the way, I have Doug on the phone for you, too, as well.
You're talking about Chris James or Doug?
Doug, Mr. Martin.
Oh, Dougie's on the phone. Good morning, Douglas.
Good morning, sir.
How are you? You are now the official life preserver for Zeb at the Ranch.
I'll send you a bill.
Ah, there you go.
Anyway, I want to announce who won the lawnmowers and the barbecue for the Rupert Senior Center, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please. I'd like to know.
Yeah, the lawnmower, which is John Deere lawnmower, like new condition, it was donated by Ralph and Caroline Bott. Appreciate it very much. And it was won by Roseanne Higgins.
Okay.
And then there was a barbecue grill, a 3-burner barbecue grill, and it was won by Helen Bodley, and that was donated partially by Walmart. And then there was a patio set, a 3-piece patio set, a little table and a couple chairs, and it was Teresa Huggins.
Okay.
I guess Huggins.
Okay.
I hope I didn't mispronounce her last name. And that was also help donated by Walmart.
Okay.
And then there was a lady brought in a brand new airless fryer.
A what?
Airless fryer, or oilless fryer. It was an air pot.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Up in there, and you can basically it's like fried food with no oil.
There you go.
Supposed to be healthy.
Okay.
And that was won by Klepfer Concrete. That was all that was on the ticket.
Well, there you go.
And they raised $4,750.
$4,000? That's pretty good.
Yes, over $4,750.
Well, you can't beat that with a stick, I'll tell you.
That's good, and I appreciate everybody who bought tickets. I bought tickets. I didn't win anything. But those of you that didn't buy tickets, you didn't even have a chance to win.
Well, there you go. I mean, when you get an opportunity to maybe walk off with some of that loot, and the tickets were very, very inexpensive, weren't they?
They were. They were 3 for $5.
Wow.
So they sold a lot of tickets.
Absolutely.
And I really want to thank everybody that donated and participated, that helped with this. That it just helps the seniors. And one thing I'd like to say, you have that gentleman that calls in the morning.
Yes, Mr. Joe Taylor, the world-renowned best realtor in the United States.
Right, and the descriptor of yummy.
Yeah, yummy. He adds a new flair to the word yummy.
He does. But I want to challenge people out there to go to your local or nearest senior center and have lunch one day.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed of the people you'll meet and the friendly people, the good food, and it will help the seniors.
Oh, yeah, the cost factor is minimal. I mean, you get a great meal at a low cost, and you're going to be talking to some of the greatest people in the world and get a chance to visit with them, and it won't take any more time out of your schedule. They're always prepared and ready to serve you, and I think it's absolutely a great experience.
It is. It really is. If you're not a senior, I know what Rupert, I'm sure the other places are close to the same price, but it's $6
Wow.
for a meal.
That's not bad at all.
If you're a senior like you and I, Zeb, then we can get it for $5.
Hey, sir.
Yes, sir. I believe, Doug, hold on a second. Do we finally have Chris James on the phone?
Yeah,
Yes, sir, we do.
All right, Doug, I appreciate everything you did, and I mean that, and I'm going to tell you thanks in person here in a little bit, but we have finally found our guest, and we're ready to go. Doug, I appreciate your call. Thank you. Right now, the business manager for the district of Cassia County, Chris James. Chris, we didn't know where you were.
Well, good morning. I apologize. I was working, but I got distracted, so I apologize for that.
I'm going to hook a great big alarm clock on your wristwatch.
I need that.
What's going on with the district and all the registrations that are coming up? Give us a little insight as to what you do and all the money. Where does it go and how do you charge?
Sure. That's a great question. So a couple of years ago, we got rid of a registration fee. We eliminated it. The elementary schools were charging $15 as a registration fee, and the high schools were charging $35. Now, the parents will probably still have to open up their checkbooks when they come to the school because some of the athletic activities and yearbooks and activity cards and things like that, if parents and students want, will still have to pay for those. But there's no per se registration fee. And we've worked to, streamline supply lists a little bit and get some consistency there. So I believe they're trying this year to have, a grade-level supply list for each of the schools rather than individual teacher supply lists. But it's been a transition. So,
Chris, let me ask you this. Is it kind of sticker shock for parents when they go to registration day? I mean, are these exorbitant costs that have to be met somehow, or give us a little explanation and a breakdown?
No, I don't think they're exorbitant, especially not when you compare us with school districts in other states or in metropolitan areas. I think our Board of Trustees have really tried to keep those costs lower. The charges vary a little bit from school to school, but an activity card generally is around $35, and that's to get students into sporting events and school activities, dances, things like that. Yearbook costs vary. I think they're in the $15 to $20 range. And then sport fees, very reasonable at the junior high level. High school, I think it's $35 for one sport, and then you get a price break if you do 2 or 3 sports.
Okay.
So it depends on how active your kids are, and how many kids you have, what your sticker shock might be. But.
And really, you mentioned about the fees and everything, but that's just the cost of raising children in an atmosphere of a well-rounded education.
Sure.
So
extracurricular activities, there is a cost to them. I mean, you've got travel, you've got referees. A lot of times, you've got those kind of expenses that aren't necessarily funded by state education funding.
What about the costs, though? I mean, are they at a kind of a constant level right now? Are they always every year escalating? How stable are those costs?
Yeah, so we had a fee hearing last month, and we only increased one fee. That was our school lunch fee, and they increased by 10 cents, our school lunch fees. That was the only fee that increased. All the others stayed the same. And I don't believe we increased any fees last year either, so they've been pretty stable.
The one thing that has always griped me, and I know this is just a petty complaint of mine, Chris, is that school lunch, absolutely, those cooks and the people involved, they put the best food forward for these kids, and I just hate to see the wastage and the throwing away. I absolutely was not raised that way, and I certainly hope that can be transitioned to where we don't see so much waste in the school lunch program.
Yeah, so great question. They do carry out, kids. Some kids, unfortunately, are not used to eating fruits and vegetables at home, and so when they're served them at schools, they oftentimes waste them. They have in most of the schools now. Our food service director has a share table, so if they have unopened bottles of milk or fruit that can be washed, like an orange that hasn't been damaged or anything, and it can be washed, they'll actually the kids can, instead of wasting those, putting them on a share table, and they can clean those, and other kids who maybe were hungry or want to eat them could eat them.
Absolutely. Boy, that's a great idea. It's called the what?
I'm calling it a share table. I think she has a different term for it, but...
Okay. Well, I think it's way overdue because there's too much wastage in our food that is served at all high schools, not just Cassia County schools, but all high schools and grade schools, and I'm glad to hear this is being taken care of. What about basically as the business manager for the district, quickly, I've only got a minute left, we're running late. What do you do? What is your main job?
Mainly to monitor the budgets that have been approved by the school board, also over the accounts payable, payroll, bank reconciliations, kind of some of the hiring and budgeting.
Okay. And with your money that's paid to you, I am personally going to talk to the superintendent, and we're going to buy you a brand new watch.
With an alarm clock.
Chris James, business manager for Cassia County School District. Thanks for being on the program.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Bye. Cassia County School Days brought to you by our friends, of course, A Child's World at 1308 Overland and Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland in Burley. We're not going to waste any time, and we're going to put the pressure on wheels. We're going to scoot right on over to Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More, and I believe we've got Jeff on the phone. Jeff, are you there?
Yes, I am here today, Zeb.
Holy moly, there's the man. And I'm going to be seeing you live and in person in a couple of hours because I'm going to come by and finalize my thoughts on a brand new recliner.
Yeah, that chair you're looking at, that's a dandy. I tell you what, I think anybody would love to have a chair like that in their home.
Jeff, there is so much going on over at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More right now. It's the almost end of July for the red, white, and blue sale. Tell us about it.
Yeah, what we've done, Zeb, for our red, white, and blue sale, we're basically emptying anything out of our warehouse. So if we've got overstock, odds and ends, one of a kind, and then that's carried over into the store in this sense, and that is we have a number of floor covering rolls, meaning carpet, vinyl, even luxury vinyl plank that comes in boxes. If we have anything that's overstock, or maybe we've been holding on to it for a little too long, or maybe it's just a part roll of carpet. Anyway, many of these carpets we have up to half off right now. So for anybody who is looking to do any kind of flooring in their home, come into the store, take a look at what we have, and you're going to get some great discounts on every type of flooring that we sell.
You know, the thing about your business at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More, and we noticed it again the other day when we were down there, people just walk in and stop at the door and just look left to right, right to left, down the center, all the way to the back. There is so much to add for the beauty and the comfort of everyone's home.
Well, Zeb, thanks for noticing that. In fact, I do that myself sometimes.
Well, absolutely you should. The people there, too, they're very knowledgeable about every aspect of comfort and beautification.
Well, thank you for noticing. We do have a great staff, and, I'd invite anybody to come in and visit with them. We have Hillary and LeGrand, Emily, Darren, Morgan, Juan, and Corby. We do have an excellent staff, and we have great floor covering installers that work here as well. And so, I would encourage anybody to come in and visit and get acquainted with our staff. And, Zeb, I apologize, but I just wanted to share a couple of other ideas here as well. As part of our red, white, and blue sale, where we're emptying the warehouse, we have a number of closeout items that are also furniture. We've got great specials on our sofas and our love seats, bar stools, entertainment units, bookcases, bedroom furniture, mattresses. We have a huge closeout on our old last year covers on our mattresses.
Mm-hmm.
These mattresses can be purchased up to half off to Zeb, and so it's a great time for people to come in and furnish their home and do so with great discounts.
And I understand 12 months interest free. Is that correct?
That is correct. 12 months interest free. That's on approved financing here, and you can actually have same day delivery. And anyway, come on in and take a look.
Jeff, I always appreciate the fact of visiting with you and having you on the air and other members of your staff. Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More, you've been on my program for a long, long time, and I urge everybody to stop in and really talk to the professionals. They know and they can help you at 459 Overland in Burley. Any final thoughts before I let you go, my friend?
two quick things. We're located at 459 Overland Avenue in Burley. We are open from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. And I just want to let anybody know, we are the home of the 110% price guarantee. We will not be undersold on any product, and that includes any flooring. We guarantee in writing the lowest price.
Well, there you go. The best serving you. Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More, 459 Overland in Burley. Jeff, thank you, my friend. We'll see you in a couple hours.
Thank you, Zeb, and you take care, buddy.
All right, take care. Nice people right there at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. And they've been on our program for a long, long time. We're just about ready to send it back over to Wheels over at the main studios, and we'll have a break at the bottom of the hour, and then we're going fishing. Yep, we're going to go fishing. We got a call earlier this morning that Josh, the fishing guru at Sportsman's Warehouse, is going to be on the old fishing hole this morning. He's out at the Salmon Dam, and we're going to find out a whole bunch more about what he's fishing for, bass or trout or walleye. We're going to have all that in just a couple of minutes. And let's see if I got any other reminders. Oh, one more time, I want to hit that the lawnmower races are going to be at the Minidoka County Fairgrounds Monday at 6 p.m. Concessions open at 5:30 p.m., and it's going to be put on by the East End Fire Department. For more information, get a hold of Joe Phillips at 431-6351. Lawnmower races, Monday night at 6 p.m. Right now, Wheels, take it away.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Oh, we look forward to Thursdays because it's kind of a relaxed segment, and we can all just wish we had the job that Josh has. He is the fishing guru, the man with all the answers and the man with all the tackle at Sportsman's Warehouse, 1940 Bridgeview Boulevard in Twin Falls. And we've got a segment called The Old Fishing Hole. And right now we say good morning to Josh, I believe is out at Salmon Dam. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Oh, doing good, sir. Trying to get a sunburn, it looks like. It's beautiful out here.
I'll bet it is beautiful, but right now it's got to be extremely hot out there at Salmon Dam, is it not?
Yeah, it's getting that way. We're just about to take off. I didn't have very good service, so I was just holding on for you.
Well, I appreciate it. Josh, you know, I've had a couple of calls this last week, and people said, you know, we got away from fishing for a long time, and we've been listening to this program, and we want to kind of get back into it. And one of the ladies that called, she said, I have a husband that doesn't like to fish, but I love it. And is there a book, she said, or some kind of information guide that could get us back into it to the point where we can learn how to tie the various knots for the lures, etc.? How would you respond to that answer?
Oh, well, at the store at Sportsman's there at 1940 Bridgeview, we got a lot of little knot books. But honestly, if you have internet connection, YouTube's hard to beat when you're interested in learning.
Okay. And basically anything you want or need for education and information is on there?
Oh, yeah, you can definitely look up Knot Tying 101, or if you swing into the store, I've got this book. It's called the Little Red Knot Book. It's just a little book that has probably 60 pages of all the various knots that people have come up with over the years.
Oh, my goodness. The other callers that
$6, so it's a good little knot book.
Absolutely. The thing about, I had a gentleman call, and he says, I'm a senior citizen. He says, I'm 82 years old, and with that monofilament line, I can't see the doggone line to tie the knots. Is there any answer for that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. They have some pre-rigged hooks and stuff that come on a line with a loop. The trick would be tying on the swivel. But, yeah, sometimes it's very difficult to tie that thin monofilament onto a really small hook. Other than that, we do have magnifiers that get put, like, on the bill of your cap, or little cheaters on some sunglasses that will, you know, help magnify what you're looking at, kind of like readers.
Wow. I had another call this past week in regards to lures, and it was really an interesting conversation. The gentleman that called me is originally out of the Midwest like I am, and he fished many, many times on the Great Lakes. And his question was, how does a company or how does the fishing industry develop the different lures that they think will attract the different species of fish? I said I'd ask you, so give us the answer.
Honestly, I think it's like reinventing the wheel. Historically, we've had a lot of lures that caught fish, whether it's like balsa wood bait, like Rapala's made, or just like a jig with a plastic bait on there. But each year, it seems like these companies come up with similar stuff that just looks more realistic. And they market it, and it looks good. If it looks good to the fishermen, it acts like the old bait that used to always catch fish. It seems to sell well, at least.
Okay. Now, everything, and I mean everything, that they need to go fishing is at Sportsman's Warehouse. How in the world do you make up that fishing department? I've been there. I've talked to you there. Holy smokes, everything is there. I didn't even know there was some of that equipment.
Yeah, they're in the fishing department. We have over 80,000 different items.
Oh, my. Wow.
From swivels, hooks, sinkers, and that. But it really comes down to being kind of specific where you were going. If you came in here to the store on Friday and told me you were going to Salmon Dam, I'd have a pretty good idea of where I could send you and what to give you. The only thing that's going to be deterring out here is it looks like an oil slick with all the algae that's floating around.
Ooh.
We had to walk around probably about 300 or 400 yards just to find a clean enough bay to kind of fish without getting all our tackle full of the green goop stuff.
Now, Josh, we were talking about this on a program previous about the algae, and it's very dangerous. It can kill dogs, etc. Again, I want you to reiterate, what is the effect on the fish themselves?
Well, first thing this morning, it was really good fishing anywhere along the shore when we got into where the rocky banks kind of got away from the sand. And then we started picking up some fish. But as soon as the sun came up, it seemed like all this algae kind of piles into the bay and comes to the surface, and it's almost like a curtain. I think it casts a shadow on the water. We're literally casting right along that little algae bloom edge where it meets the clean water, and we're just fishing it like a weed line or a shoreline, and we're picking up all those fish up there, right along that line.
All right, now with the heat and the extreme temperatures that we've had now for well over 2 weeks, what has it done to the fishing at Salmon Dam, and have there been big changes in trying to catch some of these walleye, etc.?
Yeah, I really feel, and I mean, I'm just assuming because we catch fish early in the morning, quite shallow. But as the sun comes up and the sun hits the water, those fish move deep pretty fast. There might be a few small fish up along the shoreline, but the majority of the bigger fish are moving out in that 10 to 20 feet of water, I think, just to get out of the sun and find a little bit of cooler water. And then if they can find shade, I think it's even that much more of a benefit to them. So, like right now, they're kind of using that algae bloom as a curtain, and we found this shoreline where the water drops from about 5-6 feet to about 15 feet. And right there at that 15-foot mark in the shade, there's tending to be quite a few fish that are just hugging that edge.
Okay. Now, what about the bait, the tackle, etc.? Now, you're fishing primarily today for walleye, is that correct?
Correct. We have caught like 2 great big perch and about a 14-inch smallmouth bass. First thing this morning, we were throwing 3- and 4-inch swim baits, which was picking up a few fish, and our better fish that we caught were on those baits. But as soon as it got warm and the sun kind of started showing, we couldn't pick a fish up on a swim jig anymore. So we went to just a small, like 1/16 of an ounce jig head, and we're putting about a half of a night crawler on there. and we're just dragging it along the bottom, and we're picking up a lot of smaller walleye that way.
I see.
But it's at least still in the limits so that we can go home and cook dinner.
You know, Josh, for those that really don't understand how to fish the different conditions and the different water temperatures, etc., I'm urging them to come down and see you at Sportsman's Warehouse. What are the hours and the days that you're there and they can come in and see you and ask questions?
Well, we have a lot of knowledgeable employees down there, and we're open from 9 to 9, Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday 10 to 6. I'm off on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but anytime during the week, afternoon till 9 o'clock, I'm there. And on the weekends, I'm usually opening, so I leave Saturday and Sunday, usually around 3 o'clock.
Okay. And what about the rest of the summer? It doesn't look like these hot temperatures are going to leave us soon. What about fishing in streams for the trout? Now, I would imagine the hot temperatures have affected that also.
They do to a point, but usually those mountain streams are a little higher in elevation, and having just that free-flowing water usually keeps that water temperature down. But they will still seek solitude because the sun will give them a sunburn, so they'll be still looking for undercut banks and trying to get into the shadows and that.
What about...
but where the water is stopped with a dam or a diversion to, like, move the water into a canal or just to hold it back for irrigation, that's where we find that the water temperature in the summers really affect the fish more, because that stagnant water being held back raises in temperature a lot faster than what a creek or a river would do.
Okay, quickly, and I'm almost out of time, but explain the difference between also river fishing with the warm temperatures as compared to where you are out at Salmon Dam. Are there quite a bit of similarity, or are they very different?
They're very different. Where the river has a lot higher oxygen content in the water, and the water temperatures tend to stay cooler. Now, that will vary when you hit a reservoir like Lake Walcott or you run into CJ Strike. Anywhere they back that water up and hold it back, the bays are going to warm up, and it's going to affect the way the river functions. But if you have a river that's free-flowing, you got a lot of rapids and turbulence in the water, it fishes totally different than what a lake or a reservoir will do, and the fish will act a lot differently.
I'll tell you what, this man has not let us down on any program. He is always there with the information about how you can catch fish in various conditions, and that's Josh over at Sportsman's Warehouse, 1940 Bridgeview Boulevard in Twin Falls. All your fishing, hunting, camping, knives, food, guns, ammo, clothing, everything at Sportsman's Warehouse. Josh, any final thoughts before I let you go for the day?
No, just try to beat that summer heat. Go early or late if you're really interested in catching fish. And then when it gets warm like this, just maybe go for a nice little swim after you're done fishing, because after it gets hot, it's tough fishing.
Okay. Josh, God bless you, man. We'll send everybody down to Sportsman's Warehouse in Twin Falls to see you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Zeb, and we'll talk to you again sometime.
All right, sir. God bless. Really a nice guy and a very sharp guy. Josh down there at Sportsman's Warehouse, 1940 Bridgeview Boulevard in Twin Falls, and the old fishing hole. Right now, we're going to do a weather forecast, and the weather brought to you by our friends at Scarrow's Meats. Don Scarrow and the crew at 331 North Road, Jerome. Oh, my goodness sakes. You can also go to their website, www.scarrowsmeats.com. All the delicious meats for barbecue season. Oh, the great big tri-tips and the marinated pork ribs for only $1.99 per pound. And other barbecue packages, including beef, pork, and chicken. You check it out. Scarrow's Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome, 324-7657. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Here's a look at your weather forecast for this Thursday. It's going to be another sunny and hot one. Looking at a high of 95. Winds a little bit out of the west, right around 10 miles an hour. Winds could pick up and gusts as high as 21 miles an hour by this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low of 60. Tomorrow's sunny and 95 for tomorrow night, mostly clear with a low of 57. Saturday, another beautiful day, sunny skies, high of 92. Sunday, sunny and 91. That's your weather forecast for Zeb at the
Oh, she does a good job. Thank you, Gina. Scarrows Meats. Don Scarrow and his excellent staff, located at 331 North Road, Jerome. Scarrows Meats, they are changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. Wow, we do once a month. We go to Lunch Bunch, and we impose a little bit on wheels to cover for us while we get on the road to get over there. And we're going to be leaving in just a few minutes, and we certainly hope you can be there. Lunch Bunch at Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner, 611 North Overland in Burley. Want to leave you with the thought about our major sponsor, and I cannot thank them enough for the many, many years we've been together on this program, and that's your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you. And if you're going to be going on a road trip, they've got all the tires, all the tread designs, all the sizes for your vehicles, cars, pickups, SUVs, trailers, etc., everything. And I want you to drive safely. They do too. So stop in and see them before you go on a road trip. Not only for the tires, but also for the brake service and the front end alignments and the shocks and the struts and the batteries. All of this with great, great service to you. They take care of you. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. Yep, the best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. We're going to be back here on Monday at 8:06, where we'll ride the horse for 3 hours from 8 to 11. And we want to urge you to be sure, and if you haven't signed up for my blog that comes out weekly, Cow Pies and Coffee Cups, be sure to go to zebbell.com and enter your address, and we'll make sure we get it to you. Thank you very much for listening. K-Bar 1230 a.m., and then streaming live on the internet all over the world, zebbell.com. And we wrap the program up by saying this: the way things were are the way things ought to be, and the world needs more cowboys. Wheels, thanks for your help. We'll see you at Lunch Bunch.